here for phonics. It was so super great talking to you this morning, and I love doing the math, and now it is time to use our brains for phonics. Now, if you remember, our sound of the week is the sound like driving in a car. That bossy R. And these are the bossy R sisters. They all sound the same. They all make the sound or right? But they look different, right? This one is ER. That's how we see it. That's how it looks. ER, IR, UR. But they all say the sound Now, that really helps us when we are reading or decoding words, right? We know that if I see ER, it's going to say If I see IR, it's going to say If I see UR, it's going to say because that bossy R likes to boss around vowels. And E, I, and U all say the sound when the letter R comes after. Does that help us when we're trying to spell words? No, because when we hear that sound, it could be any three of these. But that's why we practice. And we know that usually ER is at the end of a word. IR and UR are usually in the middle. So let's read some ER words first. ER. Better, center, dinner, fern, finger, hammer, her, letter, number, tiger. So a lot of those ers are at the end of the word. IR, ready? Bird, chirp, circus, dirt, first, girl, shirt, skirt, third, twirl. And you are blur, blurt, burp, curl, flurry, fur, hurt, surprise, turn, and turnip. Turnip, right? So all of those are the words. Let's practice our sight words for the week. Another. ANOTHER. Right? Ends in Another. We can see that clue at the end. That TH, Theo, right? That O is what tricks us up here. Another. That O doesn't make that expected sound. That's probably to remember by heart. Another. I'm going to read to you another Frog and Toad story after I'm done showing you our sight words. Another. Great. You guys are great. 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 You are great. Climb. We are going to practice climbing. As we spell climb, right? CLIMB. Climb. And what's tricky here is that MB, when B is at the end of a word and is joined with the letter M, that B is silent. He doesn't make a sound. So that's the part we have to remember by heart. The rest, I, long I, climb. Climb, climb, climb. Next word, poor. The next story I'm going to read to you about Frog and Toad, you're going to feel sad for poor Toad. Poor. Or. Poor. 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 Through. I am talking to you through the camera. Through. 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 And our last word, full. FULL. Full, right? That ULL says full. After I eat dinner, I am so full. All right, guys. I am so excited to read to you the story in Frog and Toad today, because the story I'm going to read to you is called The Letter. The the letter. We know all about Frog and Toad, right? That they are wonderful friends. If this excerpt in Frog and Toad Are Friends is called The Letter, what's a prediction that you could make? What might happen? The letter. They're going to talk about the letters of the alphabet? What else? Maybe someone's going to write a letter. Or maybe someone's going to get a letter. Let's find out. The letter. Toad was sitting on his front porch. Frog came along and said, "What is the matter, Toad? You are looking sad." Aw, poor Toad. He is looking sad. "Yes," said Toad, "this is my sad time of day. It is the time when I wait for the mail to come. It always makes me very unhappy." "Why is that?" asked Frog. "Because I never get any mail," said Toad. "Not ever?" asked Frog. "No, never," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter." So I've just read, no one has ever sent me a letter. Toad just said that to Frog. What do we know about Frog? Frog is a really thoughtful friend. He thinks about his actions, right? And he is a super, really kind, good friend to Frog. Any predictions? I think he might write Toad a letter. Let's find out. "Every day, my mailbox is empty. That is why waiting for the mail is a sad time for me." Frog and Toad sat on the porch, feeling sad together. Then Frog said, "I have to go home now, Toad. There is something I must do." Frog hurried home. He found a pencil and a piece of paper. He wrote on the paper. What do you think he's writing on the paper? I bet he's writing a letter to his best friend Toad. He put the paper in an envelope. On the envelope, he wrote, "A letter for Toad." Frog ran out of his house. He saw a snail that he knew. "Snail," said Frog, "please take this letter to Toad's house and put it in his mailbox." "Sure," said Snail, "right away." Well, that's really wonderful of Frog. He's sending Toad a letter. Toad is going to be so happy. Except, what do we know about snails? If I wanted something done quickly, would I have a snail do it? No, because snails move really, really slow. Any predictions? Do you think that letter is still going to get there? Let's read and find out. Then Frog ran back to Toad's house. Toad was in bed, taking a nap. "Toad," said Frog, "I think you should get up and wait for the mail some more." "No," said Toad, "I am tired of waiting for the mail." Frog looked out the window at Toad's mailbox. The snail was not there yet. "Toad," said Frog, "you never know when someone may send you a letter." No, said Toad. "I do not think anyone will ever send me a letter." Frog looked out of the window. The snail was not there yet. "But Toad," said Frog, "someone may send you a letter today." "Don't be silly," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter before, and no one will send a letter today." Frog looked out of the window. The snail was still not there. Frog, why do you keep looking out of the window? Asked Toad. Because now I am waiting for the mail, said Frog. But there will not be any, said Toad. Toad does not know what is happening, does he? And Frog is now anxiously waiting. Oh, yes, there will, said Frog, because I have sent you a letter. You have? Said Toad. What did you write in the letter? Frog said, I wrote, Dear Toad, I am glad that you are my best friend. Your best friend, Frog. Oh, said Toad, that makes a very good letter. Then Frog and Toad went out onto the porch to wait for the mail. They sat there feeling happy together. Frog and Toad waited a long time. 4 days later, the snail got to Toad's house and gave him the letter from Frog. Toad was very pleased to have it. Oh, Frog is such a good and thoughtful friend. He wanted to cheer Toad up by making him happy and writing him a letter. Except maybe next time he does it, he shouldn't send the mail by the snail. So here is the activity that I have for you guys after listening to the story, The Letter. I'm going to ask you to write one of your friends a letter. Now, we were pretty used to writing a letter every week in our class, right? In our journal that we would write home to moms and dads. We would write them a letter. And I know you've been writing in your journal every week, but we've been doing it a little bit differently, right? In your journal, you've been writing a little narrative about what you're doing to your week. You're not sending it to someone else to read. So this time, I want you to practice, really remember what we talked about how to write a letter. So, when we write a letter, we start with a greeting, right? Remember our morning meeting, we would always start with a greeting like, hi friend, or a fist bump, or a high five. When we write a letter, our greeting usually says, dear, right? So I wrote my letter to Miss Sweeney. Dear Miss Sweeney. So right here in the blue, that is my greeting. And it has its own line, right? Greeting, dear Miss Sweeney. Then I come down and I write my message, right? Here's my message. I want Miss Sweeney to know why I'm writing my letter. So let's read it. I start with, how are you? Right? I wrote my letter to Miss Sweeney because she's my best friend and I want to know how she is. I miss seeing her. How are you? With a question, right? An asking sentence. I'm fine. Have you played any fun new games? I played Sorry with Jack and Thomas. You would like it. I miss you. Right? So here is my message. My last sentence is my closing, right? I miss you. Right? And now you don't have to finish with I miss you. You might say, talk to you soon, or please write back, or just, I had a great week, right? That was usually our closing when we were doing about our week. So how are you? I'm fine. Have you played any fun new games? I played Sorry, right? Capital S because that's the name of the game. Capital because it's a proper noun. With Jack and Thomas. You would like it. So I'm giving her my message. I'm asking a question, giving some information about me because I haven't talked to her in a while, and also wrapping it up, saying, I miss you. Now, is my letter done? I wrote a greeting. I wrote my message. That's my closing sentence on my message. But I also need to have my closing to my letter, right? I start my letter with my greeting. I close my letter, right? My closing might be love, right? And Frog and Toad, his closing was your best friend, right? You might write from right? Sometimes when you write a card, you write from, that's your closing, or sincerely, right? We have so many different things that we can use as our closing. Love, dearly, sincerely, love. Am I done yet? Does Miss Sweeney know that this letter is from me? No way. So I need to do my signature or write my name. So love, Miss Egan. And that's my signature or my name. So when you write a letter, you need to start with your greeting, dear, whoever it's from. Come down the next line. Come up with a few sentences to tell your friend why you miss them, something fun that you've done, something you want to know about them. Your closing includes either love or from, your friend, and then your name, right? Your signature, your name. So, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to ask, where did my list go? Where did my list go? All right. I will email moms and dads and let them know who is going to write a letter to who. Or you could write a letter to all your friends in the wolf pack. Okay? Otherwise, if you want to write just one letter, I'm going to email moms and dads and let everybody know who's writing the letter to who. Okay? All right. Thumbs up, guys. Can't wait to see and hear about your letters. Bye.